You know, it's been a big year for a lot of different industries. AI, your mom's. Ladies and gentlemen, if I seem like both of my eyes are socked out, it's because I haven't slept and I haven't eaten, and that's what you call being a father. But regardless, I'm here today to talk about demonic products. It's been a big year for demonic products, but the demonic product that has moms going crazy on TikTok is the Hatch sound machine. Now, this one is near and dear to me because I'm a new dad, and I have a couple of these in my house. Parents are filming themselves throwing out their Hatch machines, kind of like when people were burning LeBron jerseys. They're throwing them in the trash because they believe these Hatch machines have demonic ties. Now, again, if this is exciting to you, you can get demonic whispers in your ears for the low, low price of like $500. I forget how much these things are. You basically pay, I don't know, half a G for an MK Ultra machine. So yeah, I understand why these people would believe demons are speaking through them, because sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I feel as though my Hatch machine is whispering to me. I lean in closely and I go, "What's that?"
"Noel, go to your computer. Open Counter-Strike. The skin market has crashed. Invest now."
And I wake up in my bed and I look at my Steam transactions, and somehow I've spent $2,000 in the CS2 marketplace. I said CSGO. Shows you where my heart is, you know. I'm with CS2, but I'm thinking about her. The whole reason parents are throwing out their Hatch machines are because of this little tongue-in-cheek commercial that Hatch put out about 2 weeks ago.
It all started when we moved into the new house.
Thanks.
With the stress of the move.
Ava, you already on your phone?
Yeah, Kyle, 1 second. I'm just finishing. I couldn't sleep. When I doom scroll, I guess I look for something to make me feel better.
Today, I'll be making cereal from scratch.
The human body can't survive without sleep. Hello? Is anyone there?
You heard that? 5. Thought I was going to do it, huh? Yeah, right.
24 hours. Fatigue. Calm down, go to sleep. 48 hours. Confusion.
Again, Ava?
More than 3 days. Psychosis.
Just need to sleep, Ava!
It won't stop until it gets what it wants. Me? I sleep.
Yo, that alarm tune, that little flute, what they play to wake you up from an ayahuasca ceremony, that just gave my entire body PTSD. Holy shit. That took me back to like the early stages of my son's life. I hated that. That was the scariest part of the entire commercial, was hearing that flute. Jesus Christ. You know, if you play that flute for a parent who owns a Hatch machine, their nervous system will actually drain. If they slept 8 hours, it will drain 4 hours of sleep out of their body. That's what just happened to me. You know, the Hatch commercial is pretty goofy, but I'll say the iPhone cable out of the mouth, that was good. Getting like a magician. That scene you could feel. You know, because we've all chewed on our lightning cable before, right? We've all just wondered how it tasted. We've all eaten a bowl of spaghetti and gone, man, imagine if these were lightning cables. Hey, by the way, I'm going to be in Canada next week. I'm doing Montreal, 2 shows in Toronto. First one sold out. Second one almost halfway through, I think. And then I'm doing Winnipeg. Don't sleep. Go buy a ticket now. NoelMillerLive.com. Now, we're not going to show you the commercial without showing people throw $500 buckets in their kitchen. Oh, these fuckers, they all deleted them. They got embarrassed. We were going to show you people that throwing out their hatches and smashing them, but they deleted because now they feel silly. But that's not going to stop us. Sam, go ahead and do a dig on the internet. I'm sure they're out there.
No! I don't care how much it was. I don't care if it was $500. Rebuke and goodbye.
I want to make a bold claim here and say they threw this out for the likes, and as soon as they turned that camera off, they pulled it right back out of that trash can. Because there's not nearly enough nasty shit in there for me to believe that this was intentional. There needed to be an open-faced burrito, a half-eaten peanut butter jelly sandwich, a general garbage that was supposed to go into the garbage disposal, all that stacked on top, and then if that nasty-ass machine went in all that, then I'm sold. But this, you're not convincing me, dude. You pulled that shit right back out of the trash. You're doing the old switcheroo. You're not going to get me. You're not going to get schizophrenic me. You might get these other people, but you ain't tricking me. I know you got that hatch machine in your house. Sam hit him with the flute. Now I want to show you one of these people defending why she threw out the hatch machine. She's well entitled to throw out the hatch machine. I'm not really here to shit on that, but I think it's fair and reasonable to let her get it off her chest. You know what I'm saying? Let her show us why she threw it away. Sam, is there any way you could Facetune her or just generally disguise her identity? I'm not trying to send hate to her, all right? That's not what I'm trying to do. But this moment is reminiscent to me of other things. And I'm just going to let this play.
Recently posted a video of me throwing away my Hatch sound machine, and it has sparked a lot of controversy in the comments. People are confused why I did, and a lot of people are telling me I'm in religious psychosis. So let's talk about it. I'm going to clip in a video that Hatch posted to their YouTube channel. This is actually an advertisement that they're broadcasting on YouTube, and I just want to give you a trigger warning that this might be a little bit creepy. It's not terrible, but I'm just warning you in case you're sensitive to that.
It's here, the season where we dabble in the dark arts, set the right light vibes, dress like a small Victorian child for bed, and regulate our circadian rhythm with restorative phone-free sleep. Hallelujah, it's time to sleep.
As you can see in that video, there are a few things that we could talk about. First and foremost, the season where we dabble in dark arts is what they are proclaiming in that they are dabbling in the dark arts. There's a woman laying in bed dressed promiscuously who is actually messing around with tarot cards. And then you can see that there's...
I don't really care to talk about, any religious person's beef with tarot or pagan traditions. This generally is reminding me of that clip where that lady heard Vince Staples on the radio. She was reading those lyrics to Facebook.
Folks need Porsches. Hoes need abortions. I'm sorry.
This to me, I guess, is a moot point, right? When anyone religious takes issue with, I guess, sexualized imagery, sex and porn and all that is such a tried and true way to sell a fucking product. I mean, look at Fortnite. That game is supposed to be for kids. It got BBL'd up fucking and some of the hottest guys too.
Also crystals on the nightstand, and an entity that is not seen lights the candles and sets the mood and dims the light and turns on the Hatch sound machine. And then at the end of the video, they also say, "Fallelujah, it's here." Now, Fallelujah is an instant mockery of the Christian term hallelujah, which actually means praise be to God. So they're saying, Fallelujah, the time to dabble in the dark arts is here. Now, if that wasn't enough to convince you...
I hear you. And yes, a corporation is a soulless... no regard for tradition. Yeah, so in that respect, you know what? I agree with you. I do think a corporation is a bit of a devil of sorts. It is really funny to think about. You compare this to the marketing team that sat down and they're going, what about Fallelujah? Ooh, I love that. That is so fun. Fallelujah, because it's like a celebration of fall. When people make these connections for marketing campaigns where, maybe it's to their religion or to their personal beliefs or who they are, I would say half the time, most marketing campaigns are cooked up by a total fucking moron. And it's authorized by other total fucking morons. People that make enough money that they don't actually participate in normal society. That's why they issue campaigns that are offensive, because they fundamentally just don't understand people. All right. And I say that with confidence because I worked in marketing agencies for a few years. And the things you hear these people say, when they ask a young person in the building about culture, they're not even asking to learn. They're just asking to get validation for whatever stupid idea they have. And no young person is going to stand up to that person and say, You're actually old and you don't fucking get it because they want to keep their job. Now, I'll give Hatch this. Maybe when they put this out, there was a reaction like this initially. So they ran it back. They're like, man, we really pissed off some religious people with that last one. Let's do it again. The engagement was good.
Now, why would a company who sells sound machines to adults and also young children and babies promote their product using horror films? After seeing both of these videos, I was greatly disturbed because my daughter has been sleeping with a Hatch sound machine in her room every single night of her life. And recently, I've actually lost the control of controlling it from my cell phone. Usually, there's an app that you have that controls the Hatch sound machine. You can turn it on, off, change the volume and the sound. But recently, my Hatch machine decided that it had a mind of its own and literally was shutting itself on and off whenever it wanted to, changing the sound, and I had no control over it in the app anymore. Many different
I'm gonna hear it out. I'm just gonna hear it out.
people have come out saying that they have heard voices in their Hatch sound machines whenever they are trying to go to sleep, or they hear it in their kids' rooms as they're watching on the baby monitor, that they feel like they can hear a conversation happening, but they can't quite understand the words. No matter what sound they chose in the sound machine, they would still hear these conversations. And one of my close friends actually called me about this a few months back and said, hey, I feel really weird about my son's Hatch sound machine. I literally can hear people talking in it. A lot of people have tried to explain this phenomenon as a auditory hallucination or radio frequency interference between radios that your neighbors might have or that you might have in your home. But the weird thing about it is that Hatch themselves has admitted to practicing divination to create their sounds. On their webpage, they actually state that they believe that sleep is a ritual and that we should have a nightly ritual to fall asleep to. On their blog post about making the sounds for the Hatch sound machine.
Yeah. There's a level of attention you have to read like Kendrick lyrics or watch certain films. You know, if she put this energy towards art and art breakdowns, I mean, she'd have a really cracking YouTube channel. But giving all this credit to a corporation that is literally just trying to sell bullshit, it's just lost energy. It's wasted on nothing.
They claim incorporating other sounds can give your brain something to latch onto. Zodiac sounds create a full-on experience that matches the energy of each sun sign, and they guarantee that your zodiac sign will appreciate the sounds that they make, and you will in turn sleep better because of it.
This is how some guys see homosexuality. This is how some dudes react to phrases. You want to talk about religious psychosis? You know what has some guys in religious psychosis? The phrase pause. I know many guys that can sit there and listen to a conversation with extreme intent. Nah, bro. Nah. Bro, you just said I'm coming to get you? I knew you were gay, bro. I knew it.
As a Christian, it's important to understand that zodiac signs are demonic, that it is actually a form of divination, and the Lord has actually warned us against divination many times in Scripture. In Deuteronomy 18, verses 9 through 12.
Deuteronomy? Like deuter fluid onto me? Hell no, bro. Shit sus, yo. They were on that sus shit for real when they wrote the Bible. Deuteronomy is crazy. Never reading that shit, bro. Ever. Never in my life, bro. I'm not getting deuter on me ever, bro. Disgusting.
When you enter the land the Lord is giving you, do not learn to imitate the detestable ways of the nations there. Let no one be found among you who sacrifices their son or daughter in the fire, who practices divination or sorcery, interprets omens.
Look, and I agree with this. I would not let anyone around me that who puts their son or daughter in a fire. Absolutely. I can agree with that. I'm not chilling with anybody that just... One second. Happy 4th. Fireworks should start soon. You got it with that one. I'm with you there. Now I know what's coming up next in this line. Who practices divination or sorcery, interprets omens, engages in witchcraft, or casts spells. Look, I think you're giving people too much credit to sit in their home and put like old pubic hair and sage in a vial. You know. This is where I think you're getting a little carried away.
Hatch is demonic. If you have a hatch, you need to throw it away right now. I don't even know where to start with all of this. Okay, so 2 nights ago, okay, mind you, we've been using Hatch sound, the little ball thingy, forever with Julius. Like, he sleeps with it, takes naps with it, everything. 2 nights ago, I came back from my workout, okay? Look, y'all, I literally have chills. 2 nights ago, I got home from my workout, got in the shower. My husband went to work, and I lay down with my children. I literally have Julius's, my son's bassinet right next to me, okay? The hatch sound is on. I'm dozing off a little, you know, I'm trying not to fall asleep because I gotta get up, I gotta make breakfast, etc. I start hearing murmuring. I start hearing like chitter chatter. I couldn't understand what it was saying, but I knew it was coming from the hatch sound. I knew it was. I have chills. Look, I literally.
Look, bro, look. I hear you, man. I hear you. You think chitter chatter came from the hatch machine. But let me tell you what's worse than the hatch machine is that fucking Apple Watch on your wrist, dude. You want to talk about something listening to you? It's the phone you're looking at and the shit on your wrist. Look, I don't want to be mean, okay? I get that you got to take a shot here at some people, but look, sometimes I feel these types of reactions to technology where people feel that there's demonic spirit or some evil possessed. They're not wrong. I mean, they're not wrong, but they're not right in the way that they think they are, I guess. You know what's scarier than the hatch machine is on a baby monitor, because I noticed this. If you look at an iPhone on a baby monitor and you see the amount of times your iPhone is just pinging your face with like IR for Face ID, and you're not even doing anything that requires Face ID, but it's like hitting that true depth pixel dot mapping on your body. I think it's a bit scarier than the voices you think you might have heard. Because let me tell you what heard you crystal clear. Your iPhone at all times. It's listening to you and it's talking to you through advertising.
Any day you feel like giving up, just give up. Because it's not all of us will make it in life.
I rebuked it. I rebuked it in Jesus' name. I went on with my day. My husband got home. I told him. I said, hey, I was hearing some stuff from that hatch sound. I can't understand what it was, but I was hearing some stuff. I just don't know. I have chills, y'all. I'm not lying. The Lord knows I'm not. Well, today I opened TikTok, and I know TikTok, I opened TikTok and I see this girl that says the hatch is demonic. I look at her video. It's amazing. I'm going to take a screenshot. You all need to watch it. If you have a hatch sound, please go watch that video. She shows this ad, and I'm going to show it to you.
I'm saying, bro. I'm saying. The devil is not in your hatch machine.
I am not one to mess with when it comes to my kids. Nuh-uh. 1 second. Literally brand new. Okay. Some of y'all don't know. If some of y'all don't know, demonic.
Now, obviously, when you look at the people calling these things demonic, a lot of them lean Christian. Now, Christianity kind of has its own, subclasses within it. So I'm not going to say they're blanket all, just representative of Christianity, but that tends to be what they believe. Now, look, not every Christian believes that the hatch machine is demonic. There are plenty that are having a laugh, just making fun of the whole thing. They're saying, piss off, mate. Go ahead and throw yours away. Matter of fact, if you're going to throw yours away, do you want to give it to me? Hatch actually offered to repossess any hatch machine that was going in the trash. So Hatch said, whoa, wait. We can sell that. We'll give you some money back. We can do something with that. Bring that over here. Now I gotta call back this lady.
And so it doesn't work like if it's not charged. So I got a new one. Reached out to Hatch. They sent me a new one, even though mine wasn't in warranty. So that's like a good company thing, I guess. But demonic.
Hey, look, I appreciate the replacement. I appreciate the customer service. Shit the devil in it. I'm out. The biggest thing that people on TikTok kept saying about everyone throwing out their hatch machine is that it's religious psychosis. That's the phrase they use. And I looked this up. I said, who came up with religious psychosis? And there seems to be no singular person credited for saying religious psychosis. So this is a TikTok diagnosis. And that's okay, because, you know, TikTok is your doctor now. It used to be WebMD. It used to be you looking up shit on Google. Now it's just vague conditions that just kind of crop up in the ether, and you can have those now. So I went one layer further, and I looked at psychosis, you know, just the regular definition of psychosis, and has to do with holding sort of delusional beliefs. And a lot of American psychosis takes the framing of Christianity, where a person might believe they are Jesus, or they have a very direct relationship with Jesus or God. And I was reading more about how in different societies, psychosis takes shape of whatever the prominent religion might be there or prominent belief system might be there, which made me reflect, you know, my perception of psychosis is through this American framing where someone thinks they're Jesus or thinks they know Jesus. People also brought up that alcoholism and substance use and various other things can awaken essentially schizophrenia in you or make the conditions worse. And so some people were accusing people with religious psychosis as like this is the result of maybe substance abuse, or they're trying to make these sort of connections about people that they don't know. But it got me thinking, you know, it's not just the hatch machine that is testing whether or not you have religious psychosis. So we went and did a little digging with Old Faithful, and she dug up a few more demonic-ass products for us to kind of see where your religious psychosis is at. I would like to introduce you all to the free healthcare portion of the video, where I am now your virtual doctor. Let's find out if you have religious psychosis. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few patients and see if we can't diagnose what stage their religious psychosis is at.
This is a warning to every parent out there. If your kids are playing Roblox...
Are they playing the fucking Kevin Gates tickle in your stomach beat to this shit?
You need to watch this right now. There is a version in Roblox called Piggy. Check this out. This is so demonic.
All in your stomach.
In the version of Roblox, this thing called Piggy chases after the kid's character and kills them.
Lady, if you think this is demonic, I don't think you've been to a single Chirac server in Roblox. You are like 5 years late to what's literal demon time on Roblox. Also, there are plenty of other controversies on Roblox that I won't necessarily say because I don't care to get the Roblox police sent to my house. I don't know if you guys knew that Roblox has their own secret police. They're fucking whacking people like Boeing if you expose the true inner workings of the Roblox game. I would say this lady's religious psychosis is sort of mundane. It's benign. It's stage 1. It's not prominent enough that she's seeing it all in everything, you know? A pig chasing you in a virtual Legos game is not necessarily what I would call like a sharp or astute observation. You know, she's not working like the lady at the beginning of this video where she is reading the terms and conditions of the Hatch website going, putting the pieces together. You know, that's commitment. That's when you're really about it. This lady, it's sort of, you know, it could be removed. It could be lanced out. You could remove this level of religious psychosis with a laser.
If you have one of these in your home, be careful because these little dolls are going viral online and people are saying that it carries some serious demonic energy. Now, these are called Labubu dolls and they've been getting so popular that fans are waiting in line for hours just to get their hands on one. I mean, a fan tried giving one to Katy Perry.
Anyone who might be vaguely religious that thinks people waiting in line for Labubus is demonic energy, I mean, brother, have you seen the way nerds go after each other for a Pokemon card release? I mean, you want to see demonic. You got people crushing 9-year-olds' dreams, all right, for a fucking, I don't know, an Eevee. There's darker energy out there. You're not looking hard enough. I'll say this, man. Labubus, that to me is Funko Pops for anyone that is genetically a hype beast. I think being a hype, you know, hype beasts look different now, but it's a certain strain of consumerism. I'm a doctor, remember when I say this, and this is medical advice. So I think it's fucked up, you know, that these people, they can't control themselves. When they see certain products, they just have to get it, right? And so designing essentially a Funko Pop for people who buy Supreme when it drops, you know, that was just a mean thing to do because those people already have impulses that they can't control. And that was just one more thing that they weren't ready to deal with. Now, I couldn't find the original clip of this girl. It was featured in these two bros talking about Labubus, but I just need you to hear this.
You know what actually has a dark side though? That's really popular right now?
What?
Labubus. They're kind of demonic. I think it all started because one girl, she saw like a Labubu at a vintage store, and then it was surrounded by all these candles, and she decided to take it home, right? And then she's telling like, yo, I think these things actually carry like demonic spirits just because as soon as I placed it in my car, I almost got into a car accident and I kept like getting sick.
The following day, my chest starts hurting. Why do I feel like there's like a tug like in my heart? Like, okay, well, today I'm on my way to the gym and I'm driving, but I was looking at my rearview mirror and I see the person coming at me. I see them coming and I'm like, in split seconds, I'm like, they're gonna hit me. And they did, they hit me.
It's because they knew you had a limited edition Labubu. Also, just blanket statement, if you think Labubus have carry demonic energy, I'm just say that's benign religious psychosis. It's not a crazy observation to make. I think you're going to be all right. But that said, I mean, this girl, she's not understanding why a car would hit her after purchasing a Labubu. And the answer is sitting right there in your cup holder, dude. They heisted Labubus. You thought you were just going to yank one out of the vintage store and you're just going to get away with that scot-free? Absolutely not. You don't know what you're sitting on, man. Some Labubus carry the same value as Ethereum. You could trade Labubu for rent. You could literally walk up to your landlord and say, "Hey, man, I don't got it, but I have this limited edition," and he wouldn't even bring it. Like, "Dad, give me mine." Jump on it, because he knows what he can get for that. By the way, that's financial advice as well. You know, as the dollar collapses and the American economy starts to fall apart, a viable way to protect your money is Labubus. You could stack up Labubus. It's not like the Beanie Babies in 2008 pre-housing crisis. It's not like that. If you stack up Labubus in your house, that is essentially a Fort Knox development of gold in your home. And you'll be able to barter that in the apocalypse when money doesn't work anymore. If you want food, you can pull a Labubu off the pile. You probably get a couple cows for that. Just saying. So invest now, guys, because when it all comes crashing down, you're gonna have things to trade. You know, society might destroy, but we'll still have our consumerism. And if you have a mint Labubu in the post-money world, I'm just saying, don't sleep. Don't sleep. The opportunity's there for you. Again, I don't want to send hate to people, so this next product, this person is flagging it, going, look at this. There's spiritual warfare everywhere you go. You just can't escape it. She's seen it in Walmart. Now, I want you to take a second here and guess what product you think I'm about to show you that is engaging in spiritual warfare with you as a person. Body wash. Nice try.
And this is Method Body Wash, the Pathfinder. Take the alternative path. You shall be rewarded today. And it has astrology all over it. Shower readings collection. Psychic revelation.
Now, there's a couple of things I want to point out here. All right, first of all, this level of religious psychosis, I'm going to say it's a stage 2. Stage 2, stage 3, maybe. Walmart is a place where you can get attacked for real, not spiritually. It doesn't take much to get socked out in a Walmart. If you're not engaging in the actual fisticuffs in a Walmart and you're just seeing it come at you through the soap, yeah, I'm going to say you're stage 2, stage 3. Now, here's the thing. I want to offer some reassurance to this person. This body wash is targeting like psychic energy, maybe tarot, and definitely astrology. This is not spiritual warfare on you. What they're saying is people that like astrology, tarot cards, psychic energies, they're saying they stink. That's it. They're saying they smell like shit. They actually did market research and they got data back that goes, there's a crossover with people who engage in astrology and who smell. They got Tonka bean in there. What the is Tonka bean? That's what Yeet be smoking. Tonka bean. I'm surprised Yeet hasn't used that one. I had to say it cooler. I feel we as humans, we've maxed out. Like, we're not doing anything interesting or new. We're just doing satanic panic. This is what they did in the 80s. You know, shout out to Dante's Inferno for creating, I guess, the modern perception of the devil we got. The devil as a concept has existed forever. I mean, we can find it going so far back. So now that it's almost more lame, you know? I feel people in older societies, when it maybe wasn't driven by like money and like buying shit. I think their version of the devil was cooler because it was actually scary. You know, the world is sort of unknown, and you could actually feel that fool's presence. We're so fucking lame. We gotta look at the devil in Bluetooth. You know, we gotta sit there looking at a screen, going, "I think he's in here." Yeah, actually, yeah, I take that back. It's probably better we think the devil is in products, because now we don't just throw a baby in a river because we're like, it was screaming too much. Get that fucker out of here. It's possessed. Like I said, man, I think it's fair to say that some corporate entities are pretty demonic in their behavior, you know? I don't know if it's Hatch. I will say it is, what's funny to me is Hatch has found a way to give white noise a job. Because when you have a hatch, you can like schedule when the white noise is supposed to, you know, come on, what level. They took an inanimate object and they put it to work. That to me is the spectacle of capitalism. You could take ambience and go, hey man, when the signal hits from this iPhone, you better wake your ass up and clock in and don't stop. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. By the way, if you're looking to spice up the demonic messages from your hatch, I would advise the classic Led Zeppelin backwards on a record player. If you run that in tandem with the hatch machine, you might actually wake up as a Labubu. Then you could just sell your body for thousands and thousands of dollars and live in a glass case next to a bunch of Funko Pops, where some gamer gets to look at you periodically and go, I can't believe I found you. See ya.